Hey everyone, happy Monster Monday. I am Anthony Scott at ToyHypeUSA.com. Today we are reviewing NECA's Universal Monsters, the Wolfman figure that is available now. I would like to thank our friends at fun.com for sending along for review. Greatly appreciate that. For links to buy, check out below in the YouTube description and on ToyHypeUSA.com. The figure comes packaged in a window box with an opening flap, and the front there is inspired from the original movie poster. Phenomenally done. I'm loving the artwork that they offered on them. The sides of the box gives you a look at the figure. That's one side there. And there's a look at the other side. You'll notice that each side is different. And of course, the back of the box gives you a look at the figure in multiple poses and multiple different head sculpts. So we're going to be taking a closer look at that. Here's your in-hand look at the Wolfman, featuring the likeness of actor Lon Chaney in this 1941 horror classic. The figure, phenomenally done, great attention to detail, and overall superior likeness. Really happy with how he came out. Here's your in-hand look at the Wolfman, featuring the likeness of actor Lon Chaney in the 1941 horror classic. The figure, very nicely done. They really nailed it as far as likeness. He comes sculpted in his dark green shirt with a paint wash over it and beige pants, also with a paint wash over it, a brown belt, and a metallic silver belt buckle. With these paint washes and attention to detail on the clothes, they look very realistic. And NECA has done just a phenomenal job on this. Here's a closer look at that. You also notice that the dark green shirt has a nice metallic wash on there. The paint washes on the pants, very nicely done. And here's a closer look at that belt buckle. The head sculpt, also phenomenally done. It's mostly given a sculpted texture hair, which gives him great likeness to the film. Facial details, also very nicely done. Just look at those teeth and eyes. They really nailed it as far as the likeness here. The ears you can see them, but they're mostly covered with the hair. One thing about this figure is that he requires a base to stand, which is included. See that small base right on his foot right there? You're probably not going to be able to get him to stand without it, and that's how the bottom of the feet are sculpted. There are holes on the bottom of the feet there that work for the stand. Let's just carefully take that off. So here's your look there at the holes, and you can just put the base right on the peg right there. Included with the Wolfman are 3 alternate head sculpts, 2 wolf and 1 human, 5 interchangeable hands, 2 wolf and 3 human hands, a bear trap, interchangeable feet, which you see there, they can be swapped out with the wolf feet, and a stand. The hands and feet also have sculpted hair and black fingernails, and let's take a closer look at that. These are also very nicely done. Here's a look at the other hand. Phenomenal paint and attention to detail on these, and the feet right here. And just for reference, the bottom of the feet, you see, curves a little bit, so that's why it's kind of hard to get it to stand without the base itself. As far as the articulation goes, you basically know what to expect if you've been collecting the Ultimate line over the years. He includes a ball-jointed head, ball-jointed neck, swivel hinge shoulders, swivel hinge elbows, swivel hinge wrists, waist rotation, ball-jointed hips, swivel hinge knees, hinged and rocker ankles, and also swivel calves. Here's a look at the other head sculpt from the Wolfman. This one has a different facial expression, including a different mouth and eyes. This likeness, just like the other one, very nicely done. I think they nailed it. Here's a closer look at that. You'll also notice that there's a paint wash on the hair there, just like the other one. And for a comparison, here's a look at the other head. You see the difference between the two head sculpts, both of which very nicely done. And just look at the other side, and as well as the back. The third head features the likeness of actor Lon Chaney, and you also see the interchangeable hands and the interchangeable feet that I showed you guys along with all the other accessories. This look, very nicely done. I think they captured the actor's likeness very well. Here's a closer look at that head sculpt. You should also be able to see the paint washes on here. That's also very nicely done, especially on the hair. My favorite aspect about this figure are the customizable options to display them between the two different wolf heads and the human head. There's a lot of really good options to display them. To swap out the parts are very easy to do. It comes off very easily. And to give them the human form, all you need to do is swap out the hands and the lower legs. Also included is a right interchangeable hand sculpt which can hold the cane, which includes a wolf head, which you can see there, and a long black handle. Here's a closer look at the head of the cane. A lot of really good attention to detail here. Very nicely done sculpting and paint deco. And there's also a metallic silver bit on the end there. The final accessory is a bear trap, and the paint applications on this as well as the sculpting, very nicely done. There's a lot of really good paint washes on here that makes it look old and a little bit rustic. So here's a closer look at that detail. Very nicely done washes and everything. This can actually open and close, and there's a little lip right here. This just lifts up as shown, and it would close when he steps on it. It doesn't close automatically, you have to do it yourself. So I push on this, nothing happens. So again, this is done manually. Here's a look at the bear trap attached to the Wolfman's leg. Here's a closer look at that. His foot simply rests on it. It doesn't connect or attach to it in any way. Here's another look at it with the Wolfman laying down. Here's a comparison of the Wolfman with the Mummy and Frankenstein, both of which have been reviewed on toyhypeusa.com. Here's a look at the back. Overall, the Wolfman is a phenomenal figure, highly recommended, especially if you're a NECA horror collector, classic Universal monsters, whatever you prefer, or you just like really cool action figures. Definitely pick it up. Thank you again to fun.com for sending along for a review. Greatly appreciate that. Link below to purchase in the YouTube description and on toyhypeusa.com. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more reviews.